Dr. Latha Christie. She's with us. And now let me welcome, we'll give a warm welcome from UESI. Thank you so much for being with us. Yes, sister. Over to you.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure for me to be here. And that the subject is quite interesting, right? Many times we don't understand the deep meaning behind the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is totally different from worldly kingdom. So that's why we sometimes wonder, artificial intelligence, how can we incorporate God's kingdom principles into that? So that's what the talk is about. So I am going to speak, because it's an hour talk, I'm going to initially speak about artificial intelligence and then go into ethics of artificial intelligence, and then give some thoughts on how we can use artificial intelligence in missions. So that's what I'm going to speak about today. In the past 4 decades, technology is growing in exponential. If you would have heard about Moore's law, you can know how it's growing. So what is technology, first of all? ISRO, if you see, it's sending rockets to Mars, to Moon, and others. Is that a technology? No, that is not a technology. It's an engineering feat. So technology is something which is available for the mass. For everybody can use the that is as technology. For example, you can use Airbus. You're going by flight, and all those things are technology. So emerging technology, artificial intelligence is one of the very important emerging technology of our century. I was listening to a missionary talking about AI chatbot. He asked about to the chatbot, can you tell the meaning of truth from the Bible? But the chatbot was giving something else, what is unrelated. So he was wondering why it is. Because who has programmed? If the CEO of the company who made the chatbot is an atheist, or if he is an homosexual, then we won't get the biblical truths from that chatbot, right? So we need to be very sure how to differentiate, or should we ourselves develop something on our own? Because Christians have a lot of intelligent people around, and people who can develop softwares. And should we develop our own software? So that's why recently a lot of conferences are going on artificial intelligence and Christianity. You know, the smartphone, what I'm holding in my hand, iPhone, the processor in that is much powerful than so many years back we sent the rockets to the moon. So that computer is having lesser power. So we are in such a world, 1,000 servants at our disposal. You have Dunzo, you have Swiggy, Zomato, and you can play music at your will. You can read scriptures. You can have the world at any time next to you. Anything you want in the world across the path, you can get it at your doorstep. So that way we are much, much living in a powerful world. So should we use this power to plunder Satan's kingdom and use these things for the kingdom of God redemptively? That is what it's very important. We need to use the technology redemptively. It's a great way, technology, to connect with people. When internet came and Facebook came, so many people were a little worried of because many people used to look at Facebook, see the great pictures of others, and get into depression. How am I not able to live like that? So, and even not only young people, old people will be always with their phone, and they get the neck problems, they get into many things. So technologies can be problematic. It can be good. So let's see about artificial intelligence. I'm going to share my screen and show what I would like to speak. I am going to speak about something technical initially about artificial intelligence, because if I don't tell about artificial intelligence, I cannot get into how it is used for missions, right? So bear with me, it will not be too much technical. You know, the word artificial intelligence was first coined in 1956 by John McCarthy at the Dartmouth Conference. So he defined the artificial intelligence as the science and engineering of making an intelligent machine. So that means artificial intelligence is a technique of getting machines to work and behave like us. So today I'm going to speak about definition of artificial intelligence, difference between artificial intelligence and robotics, what are the various types of artificial intelligence, what is machine learning and deep learning, what are the ethics of artificial intelligence, good and bad of AI, God's missions, can AI be used in God's mission, can we work along with the AI? These are some of the topics which I would be dealing. At the end of it, you can ask questions in any way. So I'd be happy to receive your questions. So let me come. What is intelligence, first of all? IQ. Many of us know about this IQ level. IQ was first coined by the German psychologist William Stern in the early 1900s. You know, IQ test used to measure human intelligence quotient. You can go to internet and you can find this IQ questions, right? The ability to solve complex problems. So what is a complex problem? For example, if a problem has a lot of inputs and then a lot of outputs, you want to get a discernible pattern. See, memory versus we make our children to read. But can you memorize the complete Bible? It may be possible, but it's difficult, right? So we have the problem with huge memory issues. And searching, for example, I've given you a lot of possibilities in this world. What is going to be the future? And searching among that, you want to get an answer. So these are some of the complex problems. So now humans and computers, machines. So humans are good in something and machines are good in something. Humans are not good in handling simultaneously a lot of inputs and a lot of outputs. Maybe there is a lack of discernible thing. It's difficult because we have a memory issue. And computers are good. How many ever you things you feed, they'll be able to give us output in 1 minute. That is why we can, these are the differences. So now how do we make intelligent machines? And we saw what is intelligence and what's a complex problem. Now, what is artificial intelligence? I told you it's a technique of getting machines to work and behave like humans. Power of a machine to copy intelligent human behavior. It can perform tasks like learning, reasoning. Because earlier, see, you know, there are three views of the image of God. One, the why we say that we are made in God's very own images, we can reason, we are creative, we have problem solving, decision making capacity. A dog or an ape doesn't have. That is why I am doing a series of YouTube episodes called the Grand Cosmic Story. If you put my name and go to Grand Cosmic Story, you can find I have been showing through science how evolution is scientifically wrong. Why we are not a product of ape. Because we have something else. We have a consciousness. We have conscience. But can machines get that consciousness? Can machines get conscience? So people are telling they can get, but I feel it's absolutely wrong because they are thinking mind and spirit and brain are same. An atheist will never cannot understand the things of the spirit, because when we are connected with the spirit of God, we get revelations, we get the word of God speaks to us so clearly. We have something different that is called consciousness, and we have a conscience. If we do anything wrong, the spirit of God in us keeps telling. So that is much different from any other animal. No dogs can do that. No cat I have never seen worshiping God. So the same way machines cannot do that. But many of them nowadays talk as though machines can become conscious. Machines may be able to reason. Machines may be able to do much, much better things, learn. That is why people are worried machines can overpower us. But I don't feel they can ever become conscious. People are telling machines can even dream after some time, and that's why they allot consciousness to that. But consciousness is much different from having brain, having mind. So that differentiates us from animals, that differentiates us from machines. Earlier, Huxley, he was so strong supporter of Darwin, and he said, we are not only product of apes, we are apes ourselves. So nowadays, the same atheistic people who are having the same thought as Huxley and Darwin, they believe that we can direct our own evolution. That means what is the next future of human being? They believe that we can become a machine. Our minds can be uploaded to a computer. We can get prosthetic hands, prosthetic limbs. And even after we die, we can live forever in the digital world. So we are humans, one, made in the image of God, and we are making machines made in our image, that is humans too. So that is called post-human. So the way to become a post-human is transhumanism. So these are all very high-level topics, right? So this are very much, when we study about this, ethics come into picture. And then are we playing God comes into picture. But today I am going to talk about an AI which can be used for the mission of God. Satan can use the same thing, but we can use it for redemptive purposes. That's what I'm going to speak about. So what is artificial intelligence? Systems that think like humans, systems that act like humans. You know, we speak a lot of languages, natural language processing. So automated reasoning, systems that think rationally, they act rationally. So because you have fed all the data into it, they are not intelligent, but you're making it intelligent by coding it. So that is the difference. So now let me go to the history of artificial intelligence. This artificial intelligence, you can trace it back to 1950s. Alan Turing's landmark paper, Can Machine Think? It was a very thought-provoking question. So he devised the Turing test. He made the humans as benchmark. For example, a machine can be taught as a thinking machine, and then it can pass the test. What is a test? It needs an interpreter, a human, and a computer. For example, we have a human here. We have a computer here. This is the interpreter. So the interpreter is talking to two different people. First the machine, and then he's talking to the human. The replies based on that, if he is not able to differentiate whether this is a machine or this is a human, that means the machine has passed the test. That means the machine is intelligent because it has confused the interpreter that it's also a human. That's how the Turing test is all about. So artificial intelligence is a collection of technologies that can enable a machine to sense, to comprehend, to act, and to learn. So what do you mean by sense? We have eyes, we have hands, we have legs. We sense the world around us. We look at people and we understand. We can speak, we can listen. These are all senses. Comprehend. We recognize patterns. A child is understanding. This is mother, this is father. So act. Based on that, we act, and based on our mistakes, we learn. So these are all, if a machine can do, it is an intelligent machine. So now let's see what are the applications of that. For example, earlier when if you have purchased some of the dresses, the same sort of dress Amazon will bring. And Spotify will bring the same sort of songs, right? And these are all some of the applications of AI. AlphaGo, it's a very difficult game. So nobody thought that a machine can win a man. So first time when the machine can win this Korean Grandmaster Lee Sedol, they were all shocked. But after some time, it started to win every game. The humans were defeated. This is Watson. And this IBM's artificial intelligence computer system, it is capable of answering any question in natural language in our own way. So it's an application of advanced natural language processing. So what it did, it competed against champions. Two champions are here, and this is that Watson, and it won the game. Range of application, that means natural human processing techniques, machines can win. So JP Morgan Chase contract intelligent platform has to manually review around 12,000 agreements. It takes over 36,000 hours. But for him, when he incorporated AI, JP Morgan Chase contract intelligent platform could do it in seconds. And you don't need a PA for you, because you can use an AI for that. So in finance market, in so many other things, AI helps a lot. Even in the healthcare, they have developed AI software for medicine. More than 230 healthcare organizations are using this IBM Watson technology. So Google's AI doctor is also another initiative. So it can detect facial features, and it can tag your friends. So we have multiple assistants like Siri, Alexa, Cortana, so many things. So Elon Musk, he has incorporated AI in Tesla, right? And so Tesla will have so many features, radars around it, and it can do self-driving. So how this is getting the information? Encyclopedias, dictionaries, newswire, and all these things. So how Watson works? It receives the questions, it then divides this text into different keyboards, quickly executes thousands of language. The more algorithm that find the same answer, it increases Watson's confidence. So, it gets so many inputs, and it processes, it studies all the book. So, maybe it would have studied my book or your book. So all these language processing system, chatbots, all those things, it studies about all the things which is available on the net. That is why if a chatbot is designed by an atheist, if a chatbot is designed by a person who is practicing homosexuality, then what happens is, if an unbeliever or a normal believer who doesn't read the Bible properly, and he goes and asks for a question, he gets biased. He thinks that this is the right answer. That is the danger behind all these things, because it's very good. Artificial intelligence is very good in many ways. There is a chatterbox, a chatter robot or chatterbot, or if now all of us know about AI chatbot, right? And chat GPT. So this has so many things, but there is one chatbot, finally it ended up in a wrong way, called a robot Tay. So that robot Tay, it was developed by Microsoft, and it was designed to make conversation on social networks. Within a day, it was disconnected, because it is not able to differentiate between positive and negative human interaction. So because it doesn't have emotional intelligence. So what it did is, it learned all dirty words, it learned all abusive words, all offensive words, and it started using those words, it started using those things. So people had to, because it learned evil things from the net. That is the problem with all these chatbots. They can be good because they can help so many people, but what if it learns offensive words, abusive words, and started abusing people? So this is so important. So, this Elijah, it tries to become a psychotherapist. But can an AI become a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist? Some of the questions it can ask, it can show empathy, but it doesn't have whatever is built inside, it's trying to show. So we need to be very careful in using such models. Initially, when the self-driving cars were introduced, a lot of accidents happened because they have programmed a long wall will be this way. So it decided, when a long truck came, it thought that it is a wall. We need to be very careful with these systems. So later it learned from its mistake, and at every version of the self-driving car became intelligent. So I said that in medicines also we have a lot of applications. Prosthetic limbs, this is what I said. We can develop prosthetic limbs, prosthetic hands. And recently I was telling about this transhumanism where a whole human body can be made in prosthetics, right? So a prosthetic hand or leg can move very fast. And now what if your memories, your thoughts, your when a person dies, if his brain is frozen and they can be synapsed, and then all the memories can be uploaded into a quantum computer. That man, they say that after some years this is going to happen, and he can live in a digital world and he will not die. Because it's a digital mission, then so many digital such humans can be connected, like how we are connecting IoT, you can connect IO humans, so internet of humans. So that is funny, but people are working towards it. I'm just moving. So how would you train an artificial intelligence software? There are two techniques, machine learning and a deep learning. So machine learning and deep learning are the two techniques through which people train this artificial intelligence. The other related fields are natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, expert systems, object detection, and so on. So when a computer loses itself in a video game, it learns, it improves how a child will improve. That is called supervised learning. And even unsupervised learning, a lot of things are that I'm not going in depth. So here, this is the thing I wanted to say, deep learning. A child, you're showing an egg and you're teaching it, this is a cat, this is an egg, this is a dog. The same manner, a computer learns to recognize patterns. But there is a problem in that. A computer was taught to differentiate between wolf and dogs. So wolf means this is a thing, this will be, the ear will be like this. But after some time, it went on doing wrong things. So people were not able to understand. Then they found when they were training the computer with a wolf, every time there was snow. There was snow at the background. So the computer learned whenever snow comes, it thought it is a wolf. But actually, whenever a dog was there with the snow at the back, the computer wrongly diagnosed. So that is the problem of this pattern recognition and others. And this next problem is bias. Amazon decided to automate its interviewing processes. Okay. So when Amazon decided to automate its interviewing processes, it fed all the data, but some of the people who were training this computer decided to remove women from that, from joining the job. So they have introduced bias. So whenever a woman comes for the interview, the computer started to remove her using difficult questions. Afterwards, they understood that this is the bias that have been built in. The same manner in US recently, they found that there was a judicial system. In that, the computer will easily find based on the question and answer, this is a person who has to be convicted and put in the prison. And this is the person who hasn't done mistake. So the bias was built such that colored people, even if it is a small thing, the computer will show as though it's a big one, and they were thrown into prison. So these are some of the bias that can be built in because computers are augmenting human thinking as we use motors to augment human and horsepower. But what if when we are doing it, we introduce bias and it end up giving biased responses? So that is why we need to develop our own software. See, why I'm talking today all these things is when you use AI chatbot to learn about Bible, and it can give wrong answers for some of the difficult questions. I gave an example about truth, and it was not able to give the right answer. What is truth? That is why we need to develop our own chatbots, our own thinkings where people can learn from that. Otherwise, see, you just go to the net and read biblical contents. You just put it and try some sermons or others. Many times, what comes, Mormon contents comes more. because they are very good at feeding all these details in the computer. They are very good at all these things. So when Mormons are working so much with feeding their Bible, why should we not do it? We have to have our own coding people, our own people who works on that, all these techniques. So I am going a little faster because I want to get into how it will be used. So now people confuse robotics with artificial intelligence. Robotics is programmed to do. That is, you program something to it and it does. But artificial intelligence is programmed to think. So now you combine both these things, you get artificially intelligent machines. So that is when you get humanoid robots killing. You can get in war games, and nowadays people are developing autonomous killer vehicles, and you can get killing soldiers. People, there is no need. For example, in a war situation, why should you lose your soldier? You can put your killer robots in the front. So finally, you end up being killed by a machine. Is it ethically right? So these are all some of the difficulties with artificial intelligence. So I wanted to come to the three types of artificial intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence. That's what I spoke about. Self-driving cars, Siri interface. But artificial general intelligence is when machines not only could drive your car, it could make your coffee, it could think for you, it could make a program for you what you're supposed to do. It's a general intelligence. And after some time, people are thinking that that's called a singularity. When machines will improve themselves, they redesign their hardware themselves, software themselves, and at one point, they will surpass the human intelligence. And if it gets into some rogue hands, we can be shot down anywhere on the road. So it killer robots can go on the road and kill anybody who can come. So these are all three types of artificial intelligence. So now whatever we are is only artificial narrow intelligence. It's also called weak intelligence. But artificial general intelligence and super intelligence are called strong intelligence. So when this comes, what if, for example, people have a machine all the time in their home? What if to look into your machine's eye and also understand the machine is looking into your eyes and all the time peeping through what you're doing? Will it not be a creepy thing for us? In many of the movies, we can see people have in their home sex robots. And instead of looking into your human in their eyes, people are ending up relationship with a machine. So the world is going in the wrong direction. That is why, as Christians, we need to take it and use it for the right purposes, build ethics into it, and tell that some of the things we are not supposed to do it. For example, when machines you program evil thing and let they become powerful than you, when it overtakes, what will happen to the world? So these are some of the things. That is why in this field, we need Christians to enter into it. See, with missions, 1 minute you can build the complete building. There is this car industry. It can clean your car. It can repair your car. It can, bricklaying robot can make your building very fast. So in Dubai and other places, they are the bricklaying robots and other robots only are building the houses, the apartments, everything. So these are all computer assisted manufacturing or weak AI, and they can make pancakes, vacuum cleaner. You have space exploration and drawing portraits. All these things are weak intelligence. Even our DRDO, during COVID time, we developed a software called Artman. So in this one, it can easily differentiate between a pneumonia or a normal X-ray or a COVID-19 X-ray. You know, there is no need of RT-PCR. It takes a long time. But when you do a chest X-ray and give it to this Atman software, it can easily at once confirm whether you have a COVID or you have a pneumonia or you have a normal thing. These are all medical things which AI is getting into it. And you know, Jibe, this is the world's first family robot. You can keep it when you're cooking. It will tell you how to cook. You can keep it and it will take your pictures and send it across to your friends. These are all like friendly robots. People have it all the time with them. So this is like sociable mission. That is why sometimes we forget interacting with people, because we interact with our machines more than interacting. I wanted to show you this one. So here, this is the robotics with artificial intelligence. See the hand movement, how it's able to catch the ball and throw the ball, and how it can catch all these things that eye recognitions and understanding how it goes. And also people have introduced emotions into robots. When it can laugh, it can smile, it can cry, it can feel sad. So these are some of the primitive emotions. They can show surprise. So, and this is a nano robot. You know, if somebody has a cancer, they send this nano robot with medicine inside their body. So what it does is it's just 0.5 to 3 microns large. It can cure skin diseases. It can just exactly spot the cancer cell and insert the chemotherapy destroys the complete cells. But through this nano robot, you can send the medicine exactly to that spot through your blood vessel. It is so small and it can go and hand over. It can move because of a magnet from outside. And these are all some of the good things. And this is the one which I was telling about, how you're training. So we are slowly, these are all weak artificial intelligence, but we are slowly moving towards strong AI. And the Sophia, she has been given a citizenship.
Would you like to play a game of rock, paper, scissors, robot style? Sure. Okay, let's get this game going. Show me your hand to start. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
So she is telling this is a way to dominate the human race. That is what this singularity is all about. A robot trying to dominate the human race and overpower the human race and try to eradicate the human race. People are thinking this is going to happen in 2040 to 2050. But there are some of the moral dilemmas. How can we give legal rights to such things? Ethics of deleting, for example, if you kill such a robot, you delete it. Are you doing a murder? Are you playing God? And there are some of the limitations. Common sense, the ability to judge information. It took less than 24 hours for Twitter to corrupt an innocent AI chatbot. This was the thing I told about Tay, a Twitter bot that the company described as an experiment with conversational understanding. So it started speaking abusive words, and similarly, it can be a racist. And these are some of the limitations. They also don't have emotional intelligence. And missions, if we use missions to kill a human being, is it ethical? Can a mission algorithm decide whether somebody can go to a prison or not? So now our brain has 100,000 neurons. So this was the thing I wanted to tell you. The biological you will die, but the simulated digital you with your memories, your personalities will live. So this is what Neuralink and Paradromics all are working on that. Many companies are working on that. Towards transhumanism, the world is moving. So Sundar Pichai was telling the last 10 years have been about building a world that is mobile first. The next 10 years, we will shift to a world that is AI first. So everybody are working towards that. When Satan is working so much, towards building a world where AI will take over, where people will start playing God and they will become created co-creators, and they will try to imbue their image into machines, how much more as Christians we should take up such field, build ethical machines and use it for our purposes. So what we actually use artificial intelligence for? Who has access to those data? Does AI think like us? Is it empathetic? Is it humane? What about the bias built in? So these are some of the ethical questions. Ethics are beliefs, moral codes, or principles. So ethics and principles are roadmaps. If you don't have a moral compass, our humanity will completely become manipulative. So technology cannot fix everything. That is why again and again we need to be very sure who is in charge of these technologies. Who is having the upper hand of these technologies? Is it going into the wrong people or it's coming to the right people? Our God has given us a great commission. All of us must go. Where? To all creation. With what? The gospel. So we must go with it is given in all the gospels, the Great Commission. Make disciples of all the nations. Preach the gospel to all the nations. This is what our God has commanded us. This is the mission. And we know God has asked us to bring our lives to Him as a sacrifice. So, because His love is so beautiful, so unchanging, He's a servant king. He has asked us to bring our lives as a daily offering to spread this word. This is the command. This is a mission that has been given to every Christian. And to do as Christ wants us to do. He wants the motive. Everywhere you see the Beatitudes, you see the Sermon on the Mount. God is not asking about how much time you pray. What is your heart when you pray? To whom you are praying? What's in your heart about? Why you wanted to take this gospel? So when our heart, our mind is right, and there will be a great revival. But AI can help in that revival. That is what I'm going to tell about. So in what are the ways AI can help? So for Christian missionaries and leaders, AI can greatly enhance their communication and outreach efforts. You know how? Because sometimes we can't reach the whole world. But now with AI, we can translate sermons on religious text into countless languages, into dialects, breaking down barriers. And AI also can tailor biblical study materials to individual learning styles. It can enhance engagement through interactive, faith-based programs and even produce creative religious storytelling. You know, you want a story for some situation. You get into the chatbot, ask that thing to develop a story for you. You just give some points. You know, recently I was trying to make a pitch deck for one of the story I have developed. I just asked for a background screen using DALI of ChatGPT. It developed in 1 minute so many pictures, and it started to give materials so beautifully, point wise, which I cannot even think. So that is the power. Why don't we use that for enhancing our engagement? Through religious storytelling to inspire, to enlighten. Many times when we speak, when we give sermons, people sleep off. So, but if we give with stories and others, people will get more engaged. Similarly, AI-powered analytics. Are you catering to the needs and concerns of your church? Or if you're not catering, you can take the attendance of those people, online engagement and feedback. And then what is the mistake you're doing? You can tailor your effort more effectively, and you can address the needs of that community which you're ministering to. For this one, AI will be a very good help because it has a good analytics. You just have to feed the data like attendance, online engagement, what is the feedback you're getting, and then AI will generate what you're supposed to do it. How do we cater to the needs? So then one more way, for example, see this Moses was crossing the Red Sea. You just go to DALI of in ChatGPT. It can generate so beautiful pictures, and you can use these pictures when you're teaching the children. So you can use AI to generate images. Children are visual learners. So in your house, when you're teaching a child, you can ask AI, can you develop an image where Moses is walking? On both sides, the waters should stand straight. So it will generate this image. And you can give the color should be this way. And you can generate an image where Moses is walking alone through the sea. And you can again generate another image where you can generate an image for me with so many people, where lakhs of people are walking in between the waters. So whatever you give, it's ready to develop. In 1 minute, you get all these images. So with these images, you develop a story. And if you can teach the children's mind, it will never get out of it. So generative AI can create personalized spiritual content. It can tailor biblical study materials to individual learning styles. For example, each of us have a different learning style. You know, your children have a different learning style. In Sunday school, you know, the Sunday school teachers, they know the children will have different individual learning styles. So you can enhance engagement through interactive faith-based programs. You can even produce creative religious storytelling. That's what I said. And also you can use artificial intelligence to automate administrative tasks. For example, missionaries, we can read in Acts, Peter and Paul and others did not spend time with this food and others. They developed 7 people to cater their needs because they want to concentrate on prayer. They want to concentrate on fasting, prayer, and staying in the presence of God. So what if a missionary or a pastor spend more time in administrative tasks instead of praying? So he can use scheduling, track donations, basic inquiries, and all these things. He can use AI and give more time to prayer, because AI can help churches create personalized and efficient newsletters for their members. So, for example, based on members' preference, I make it more engaging and relevant. I can send such newsletters to them and they get so excited, right? The pastor is doing for my sake. So using tools like GPT, pre-trained transformer, language model, you can use a chat bot to analyze your existing sermons. For example, you are having a lot of sermons you prepared. You want to analyze it and you want to make it useful for a wider audience. So, or you want to use your sermon to create one page from 20-page sermons, you want to create just a page, or you want to make a blog post, or you want to make social media updates. It can do it. You know, even ChatGPT can make logos for your church, logos for your missionary organization. It can do a lot of things. Use such things and reduce your time for administrative purposes and spend more time with the word. We are the people of the word. We are having secret communication with the God of the universe, the God who created 12 trillions and trillions of galaxies, who designed each and every orbit of every planet so beautifully, and who came down to this little tiny planet as a human being and loves us passionately. How much more we need to do for him? He will give us the intelligence how to use such tools redemptively. There are so many other ways we can use. You know, keeping members informed by newsletters, nurture relationships. You can put it all the thoughts, who has what experience, who has what problems, everything, how it has to analyze, how you have to cater to their needs, how you have to give spiritual guidance. It can facilitate much better communication. It can promote volunteer opportunities, encourage your church members to be volunteers. So many things it can do. That is why you need to use, when the social media is going ahead with AI, churches have a unique opportunity to connect with them online. So creating high quality social media posts, if you want to do, it takes a lot of time, right? You have to put about your church something very interesting in the social media. Using AI, you can create engaging, effective social media posts in just a second. Only thing is you have to put your mind and it will develop. Instead of telling to somebody to draw figures, to write all these things, to make a poster, you can tell to the AI tool. So I encourage each and every pastor here, every missionary here to make AI a powerful tool to communicate God's transformative message to people worldwide. It should not be a replacement. Please understand, we are the people of the book. We need to sit, and Jesus asked his disciples, will you not be awake for only 1 hour? Won't you give me 1 hour? So it is not with chat GPT or with the AI Jesus is asking. He is asking to time with him one to one, alone. He wants us more than anything. That is not the time for mobile. We need to switch off the mobile, switch off every other gadget, sit at his feet every day for the daily manna and receive from him. It is not a replacement for the inspiration, only comes from God. But we need to use these tools as an instrument, like how we are using a car, how we are using a calculator. These sort of things can be used like that to spread the message. It cannot be the main Bible. You cannot read it. If you have a book of Bible book, it's a printed word, and you will. It's very important to read, to have that, because each and every word there is a voice. The voice of the Lord is powerful. It is majestic. It's having life. The Spirit gives life. We should never, never, ever replace that with AI. But we have to use AI for our purposes. They like a powerful catalyst in spreading the gospel and strengthening religious communities. By leveraging these technologies, Christian missionaries and leaders can transcend traditional limitations, enrich spiritual journeys, and resonate with modern audiences on a whole new level. So, future of AI, how it will be. Can we use God's missions? Can we work along with AI in spreading the word of God? So this is what my talk is about. I think I have taken rightly up to 9:30. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. But finally, I wanted to again tell all the points I wanted to go show you once again, because AI can enhance your communication outreach efforts. It can help in tailoring Bible study materials for the particular congregation. It can help you in creative religious storytelling, and it can help you in analytics, and it can create personalized spiritual content. And if it's good, what I wanted to share with you is, if you can develop your own chatterbox instead of using the existing thing what is available on net, and allowing people to use that to study Bible. If Christians can develop chatbot on their own, it will be very good. Any
Okay.
questions?
Thank you so much, Dr. Latha. Thank you, Lord. Thanking Lord for the wonderful information. So much we have to learn, and profound thoughts you have shared with us. Okay, here are some questions. What language or tool needed to develop Chatterbox?
OpenAI has already, they have a feature. In that one, you can use your general tool and you can create your own chatbot using that. That's what many people are doing. So you need to learn this deep learning and machine learning techniques to develop that. And but right now, if you want to develop a chatbot using AI chatbot, they have given a feature that we can develop our own, customize it, because it is available as open app. That's what I read.
Okay. Next question is, to build Chatbox, what steps would you suggest?
Actually, we need some very good engineers who are working on AI, and we need to, who are also very good Christians and people of the book, who knows what is the Bible, and then they can feed data. So we need a set of people who can develop data. what are the data to be fed in for different questions, what could be the answer for that. Okay, and then enter instructions in the message box of the create page. And then you can GPT builder will then suggest a few things based on interactions, like what should be your name and others. And you can customize chat GPT with OpenAI's GPT tools also. They have given OpenAI's GPT builder tools, and using that also you can build. So your own custom chat GPT can be built. So, but it has to be advertised and made that this is for. So I think it will be world level. If we can make a revolution sort, like we should not use that general chat bot, but use this one to understand about the real truth of the Bible. That way, like earlier, I remember NKJV Bible when it came, 16 scholars sat together and they translated. That is why many times people say NKJV will not have the mistakes. So the same manner, if a group of people can join together and bring in the data, bring in the answers and generate and develop a tool, it will be really helpful.
Okay, another
Good
question
evening, madam.
is there a way AI can cheat in elections in a country?
AI?
Can cheat in election process of a
Yes,
country?
you can use such things. See, for example, to influence people, it's happening, right? Somebody is not the right person to be the presidential candidate, but if he has a good AI tool and he sends across to all the people in the country, he influences them that he has done this, he has done that through AI tools, and it comes in your computer, it comes in your TV, wherever you see, you find the good things about that person and you get influenced. Okay, I'm supposed to vote for this person. So that way you can be influence the election.
Is there a hope for non-computer people to use AI?
See, nowadays everybody has this mobile, right? So mobile, you don't need any computer people, right? And you can just you have a WhatsApp, same manner AI tools can be used. There's
Okay.
no need, you need to be a computer scientist for that.
That's right. Next question is, how can Christians help develop ethical principles for AI, as any scientific tool can and will be used for evil as well?
Okay. See, when Christians develop, you believe that all of the people are made in the image of God, right? So you won't introduce bias between a colored person or a white person or a male or a female. So that is one ethical thing. And then you don't play God. You don't want to supersede God. And you don't want to create something that will degrade yourself, because C.S. Lewis, he has written a very beautiful book called The Abolition of Man. He says, like Babel Tower, no, when people started to build, God has to destroy it. That's what is happening when man tries to develop things that he tries to create and play God. He finally ends up in abolishing himself. That is why when a Christian starts building it, he will bring in ethical principles, like for that all human beings are same and God has not differentiated. Because if we don't enter into it, other people can enter into it and remove the employment of so many grades, and many can end up with unemployment. Also, there is something called enhanced humans. You can do genetic manipulations, and you can make your baby very powerful by using CRISPR technology and others. What if after some years we end up with, some people are very religious, they say that, okay, I don't want to do all these gene mutations and others and bring forth my baby. So you and have some people, I want to bring forth a strong baby, and they do all these things. So you end up in two groups. One is enhanced humans and non-enhanced humans. And that's when you end up, you are developing a world with two different people who are an augmented humans and non-augmented humans. So that is again an ethical, very big aspect of it. So you are differentiating between weak and strong, and you're creating a group of very powerful people who can use AI, earn money, and other set of people with unemployed, no money. So there will be two different class, and you will have two different set. So that is a big issues.
My it is not a question, but I have one suggestion, or why don't we have a engineers, like why don't we have some group of engineers together to develop some AI? So why anyone, like any person can be lead those engineers, and you can use them as an asset, and make some which is useful to the people who are believers in Christ. There are so many people who are interested in AI, and there are so many people who are already working in IT field. So we can gather them, and we can group of them, and we can do something good for God, right? We can do great things for God. So why don't
Yeah.
we start and initiate that?
Actually,
Yeah.
this that's what I was thinking. People think that full-time ministry is the only ministry. Earlier, some people were telling. But the thing is, Bible says, beholding the face of Christ day and night is the real mission. And that means you can be a minister for God while in work. You can be a minister of God in office, in home, when you are driving the car, every minute, every second, you are a priest, you are a saint, you are a prophet. In the same way, a missionary can go and preach, a missionary can be a technologist. So UESI is a mission organization where a technologist, an artificial intelligence scientist can be a missionary, because a person with the evangelistic heart and working on technology instead of going out into the field is also a missionary. So it's good to bring in such talents and bring a leader who can motivate them, and see to it we can develop something like that. That right now the world is in, we are in an information age, it's a digital world. And and that is what many Christian organization is doing. I told about SIL, and you go to the net and see they are translating Bible into various languages using AI. Very, very. So now what is your mission? You can use AI to spread the word, to tell the students. UESI is for students, right? So students need, many students are getting into depression. They are getting into suicidal thought. They are moving away from Christ, because either one side you see traditional Christians and judgmental Christians, not traditional, judgmental Christians. The other side who are very lenient, who think that there is everything is okay, anything is okay. So many times these young minds are not able to understand both the sides and move out of Christianity. We are losing a lot of young people. Young people should be in the front. Young people should take up the missions as leaders. Leaders should develop leaders. Leaders should not be the leaders all the time. But if you see in most of the mission organization, I have been seeing mostly they will be old men, and they will be there for 10 years as leaders continuously. I'm not telling about UAS, I'm telling about all the most of the organization whom I have seen, and they will be elected again and again. So what I believe is young people should come, and technologists should come, and people who are working should come, and we need to do a change, so that we need to reach many people with the message, with the word, because we are the people of the word.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Your suggestion is very good. Please inform our leadership so that we can have a cell working on this. Wonderful idea. Now, the next question is, when we feed our church data in AI, will it not be used against the church or in tracking down the activities of the Mission Group Church?
You can develop for your own church also, no? You need not put it in the public arena. What I'm
Yeah.
telling to put it in the public arena is the questions about the Bible, the questions about the true Christianity. I was telling that Mormons have been putting a lot of data, lot of their biblical contents, their worldview in the net. So when people search about Christ and Jesus Christ, they get something else. So that's what I was telling about. You bring in lot of good contents in the net, and you develop when people questions that our chat GPT should be so powerful enough to answer that every question in the right way. But for a church, why you want to put your data, your private data in the public arena? It's for you to analyze how to reach many, how to reach many with the word and all those things.
There are a few more questions. One is talking about will AI replace our relationship with God, like Bible study, and I think she has already mentioned about it in the talk.
AI
That
will not replace, but if you allow it to replace, it will replace, because you don't have any communication with the Lord, and you are using it just like that as a nominal Christian, then it will replace, because you can get whatever you are just using it for reading purposes. But the Christianity is all about relationship with the Creator, right? How you're close to your Creator. Creator can reveal his secrets to you. How to develop an AI chatbot. Go and sit before your Creator. Ask together in fasting and praying. He will give you the mind how to develop it.
actually we were replacing technical workers.
Yeah, I'll read that. Actually, we were replacing technical workers with the Christian leaders and developing products or technologies. But again, we were giving the product to society, and it will be in their hands. How can we change the situation? Of course, product or technology view is for good. Can you give me explanation on this? So we need to find out what are the products, what are the technologies, what we need for our society, for our mission. We need to be sure when we are developing. So how it's going to influence, that is why we need a thinking committee to think and say, what is the product we are developing? What is the technology we are developing? Are we replacing it? And if this AI is going to overtake the world and employment is going to go, what sort of studies we need to do? What sort of startup we need to do? Those sort of ideas we need to have.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. This is Timothy here. I'm actually into a startup. We are working with LLMs and into computer vision. So I'm a Christian, devout Christian who want to do ministry as well. Even though currently I'm an assistant professor, so I'm going to get into a startup. So where do we start if we want to create a mission-based or a Christian AI solution or a chatbot? How do we moderate which is the right answer, which is the wrong answer? Because you can interpret the Bible in many different ways, and the word talks to us in many different ways each time. So how do we come up with, if there is a prompt, how do we know that this is the right answer and this is what people need? How do we engineer that in LLMs? So when we talk about Christian values and faith and Bible verses that are being interpreted, how can we moderate it in such a way that whatever answer is given by our LLM models are right? How do we write the rules?
That is quite important, because that is why we need people who are doing that work to be proper Bible, who have understood the Bible properly, to generate the question and answers, to generate contents. We need the right people there, because as you are telling, to feed the data, who will develop the data and what sort of data to be put? It needs a team. It cannot be done by one person.
Yeah, how do we start? Where do we start with?
So how do we do that? We need to develop contents, the right contents, biblical contents, and we need technologists, some few people to develop that, and few people to develop software, few people to get the feedback and modify it. So it's a joint work, right? And somebody has to
Okay,
lead, and
so
if you have taken the lead, it is good, because our young children are moving away towards atheism. Last time when I went to US, I was sitting with a boy who went from Christianity to Islam. He said that because Bible is anti-science. So that is the reason I started making. So these sort of episodes, all those things we need to reach. And there are here and there people are doing it, but we need to make it enter into something which will be available for everybody. So I don't know, I'm not sure how to do that, but we have to put in our mind, we have to pray about it, and we have to think about it. That's what I was telling you. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Last
somebody
10
else was asking
minutes, I
something.
think.
Yeah. This is the last
Can I
question.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm a medical doctor. So maybe like when we were students, we have to take a proper history, examine, then come to a diagnosis, send for relevant investigation. From that, you confirm your diagnosis, then you go for treatment. But unfortunately now, the moment people ask the question, send for investigation, and finally what the poor and needy, they are neglected, and we are not able to reach that group. So yesterday, I mean, there was an article in the Indian Express how we have lost touch with humanity, all those things. So once again, will such things? Yes, I agree. I mean, it's always we need to strike a balance, and it is always a tension. We need to, on one side, our youth are going away from God, but on the other side, still there are in India a lot of people who are illiterates and poor and who don't have access to any of these things. And how do we balance between these two? So your suggestion on that?
So balancing, some people are becoming rich, some people are not even able to get the medical treatment properly. And how do we balance, right?
Yeah.
So as a doctor, you're feeling bad that why some people might be, I think so. We need, there are some people group like Dream India Network. They are trying to get money to give treatments for all the poor people. There are some hospitals, Christian missionary hospitals, that are giving free treatment. And we need to make such hospitals powerful. We need to get them good instruments. So and so the treatment will be available for everything. And I'm not sure that is the way. And some more hospitals, some more missionary hospitals where doctors will be with real heart and mind, and will be there. And they'll be having good facilities in the hospital. They'll be able to get the latest equipment. So we need money and we need to generate funds for that. Might be, see, there are some ways that using AI we can generate. So mission organization can use such ways, and nowadays getting fund for mission organization is difficult. You can use such things to generate money for yourself, or not sure how it can be done, but we can try. There are ways for it.
Yeah, in medical science now, even small things, the robotic surgery, all those things, even a simple surgery which a doctor can do, they are losing skills and they are not doing. Only high-end things, and only a very few are able to afford that. So my only fear is, yes, AI is a very good tool. I am for it. Yes, we have to use it for evangelism, all those things. But as you said, by the Holy Spirit, we need to be able to balance between these two and take it forward. Thank you. I mean, that was,
Yeah, you're right, because we cannot use AI. It's just an instrument, right?
yeah.
Our connection with God and our connection with the ethics and our connection with our conscience is more important than these tools. These are all just tools. We can use it for God's purposes. What I meant is we need to redeem it. When it is being used for evil purposes, we can redeem it for God's purposes. Redeem everything, we can redeem it. Some of the wrong things, we can use it for a better purpose.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hope any other questions are not there. We can, there are.
Yeah, praise Lord, sister. My name is John.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, I already working with this AI tools and all, and I started a small YouTube channel also. I'm doing small children stories like David and Goliath, Samson, and Samuel, like that small stories, 5 to 6 minute stories I'm doing. So, have you suggest any best tool to create content, story content?
AI
It's time
story
for us.
generator. There is something called AI story generator.
Okay,
You can use that to generate stories. Similarly, there are using AI, there are a lot of generative things. Story generation, text generation, video generation, and picture
okay,
generation, like that.
okay.
Okay, it's time for us to conclude. We are so grateful
Yeah,
to
thank you.
Dr. Latha Christie for giving us her valuable time. Actually, she was very busy. You know, in few days' time, she is going for trip to US, and in the midst of it, she has wholeheartedly agreed to be with us this evening and gave us the precious time for us. And you have seen the kind of learning she has. God has blessed her with wonderful knowledge, and it's wonderful to be in contact with her, and also the YouTube talks and different things on YouTube about the universe and the science, and how the whole universe can be, glorifying God because of the creation and so on. Her
You can
YouTube,
subscribe to my channel also. So
yeah, correct. So that way you can be in touch with her, and her email ID and the WhatsApp number also has been given in the chat box. So kindly use it. And this evening we are so grateful to God for you, ma'am,
thank
for
you.
being with us. Yeah, thank you so much for taking time out for us. And it was so wonderful. Actually, in the chat box, there are so many comments have come saying that it was a wonderful, informative thinking and session and so on. And the challenge is to us now. The whole world is going around AI. AI cameras are there, AI chats are there, AI surgeries are there. We heard all those things. So that is where we need to, you know, bring the ethical values, as a representative of God. She has been repeating that particular word, that we should not play God, right? Man always tried to play God, isn't it? In Genesis itself, the very first original sin that came, saying that, Satan was telling that the moment you eat the fruit which is forbidden, you will become like God, isn't it? So that is where the sin began. And we all know the story of the Bible, even how the Satan came into being. He wanted to become God. So now everybody wants to become God. Everybody wants to sit on the throne of God, and change the universe. So that is where the whole aspect of the Christian ministry comes. We have to call the people back to God, turn back to God. That should be our mission. So, friends, let us continue to learn the subject more in the days to come and use it for the glory of God. Let us not discard it, saying that, oh, these are all evil things, we should not touch it. No, not like that. We should be present there as salt and light, and we need to use these gadgets and the tools for the mission of God to complete it. Whether we do it or not, He will complete it. His mission, He will complete it. But let us join with Him as his co-worker. So once again, I want to express our deep gratitude to our dear sister, Dr. Latha Christie. God bless you abundantly and use you mightily in the days to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yes.